Scarlet Bean. When Mrs. Bean first saw her daughter's face, it was as red as a beet, and the ends of her fingers were green. "We shall call her Scarlet," declared Mrs. Bean. "She will grow tall and strong and do something wonderful." Mr. and Mrs. Bean lived in a house that looked like a garden shed. It was cozy and made of wood, but it was very small. So they worked outside as much as they could. Scarlet lay in her stroller and listened to the flowers grow, and when she slept, she dreamed of doing something wonderful. On her 5th birthday, Grandfather Bean gave Scarlet a vegetable garden. Her mother gave her a set of tools with wooden handles. Her father built her a wooden fence to keep out the rabbits, and he made a white gate that Scarlet could open herself. Scarlet loved her new garden. She pulled up the weeds, she dug in the soil till it was as crumbly as chocolate cake. She planted a row of carrots, a row of onions, and a row of parsley. That night, when she went to bed, the ends of her fingers glowed like green lights. The next morning, Scarlet ran to her garden. Her carrots were huge as tree trunks, her onions as big as hot air balloons, and her parsley as thick as a jungle. Everyone in the village came to help. They used bulldozers to dig out the carrots. They drove forklifts to carry the onions, and to cut the parsley, they used chainsaws. Mrs. Bean's kitchen was too small for so many vegetables, so she made soup in a concrete mixer. The house was too small for so many people. So Mr. Bean served the soup in the garden. Everyone said it was the best soup ever. And when it began to rain, they ate second helpings under the table. That night, Scarlet Bean dreamed of something wonderful. She crept out of bed. In one hand, she held a small trowel. In the other, she had lots and lots of seeds. High above the meadow, the moon hung like a pearl in the sky. Scarlet dug a hole and put all the seeds at the bottom. As she covered them with the earth, the ends of her fingers flashed like green stars. The next morning, the sun rose like a huge golden coin. In the middle of the meadow stood a castle made of vegetables. It had turnip turrets and a drawbridge held up by corn cobs. A cucumber tower stood at each corner. Mr. Bean couldn't believe his eyes. It was the house of his dreams. Mrs. Bean kissed her daughter's face. "I knew you'd do something wonderful," she whispered. Scarlet Bean was so happy, she turned as red as a beet, and the ends of her fingers sparkled like fireworks.